Hey guys, Elite Legionario here, and today I'm bringing you a 3 versus 3 FFA, not 3 versus, sorry, 3-player free-for-all for Medieval 2 Total War. Why a 3-player free-for-all? Simply because no one else joined, and I made it several times and no one else joined, so I just got tired of that waiting, and we just did a 3 FFA. 3 FFA is good, not really, because someone always gets ganged up on, and sadly that will happen in this game, but it won't be me. But it is scored, so you know it's kind of inevitable. You kind of have to gang up on people. But I don't like 3 FFAs because of this reason. Uneven numbered free-for-alls are not always the greatest, but 3 is the worst. You can get away with sometimes on 5-player free-for-all, but it's always better if it's even because everyone gets an opponent that way. So anyway, I'm in command of the Byzantine Empire. There is Diablozz13210, who is England, just call him Diablo I think, and Spain under the command of Korregan. So anyway, my forces consist of my horse archers here, 2 units of Skithicon. I've not really used these guys, these are the cheapest ones, not to say they're crap though. I've got 2 units of mounted Latincon. Actually, no, I've got 3 of those, I think. Yeah, 3 of them. 1 unit of Cataphractoi, which has got my general in it. So it's cool. I have 2 units of Spear Militia to be the meat shield, like I explained in previous videos how important they play, a role they play. And my main infantry line is 5 units dismounted Byzantine Lancers. These guys look really cool. Plus you can actually get them up to a gold defense upgrade. Not many units can do that in Med 2. Most only go as far as bronze. So this is a very unique unit in that regard, and it's actually really cool. Plus its appearance changes with the different levels of upgrades more than other units, so it's actually an incredibly cool unit. And as an extra meter, they've got 3 units of dismounted Latincon. So I was hoping to pin the line again and just wrap around the flanks with these guys, or support cavalry as needed with them, so that's an open option. So England has 3 units of retinue longbowmen, definitely the best traditional archers in this game, in my opinion. They are absolutely excellent, extremely tough and take a serious beating. However, they are under fire of I forgot to mention these guys, my bad, my 4 units of Byzantine Guard archers, which are another one of the very high quality archer units in this game. And it's a nice missile duel going on there. But with the support of my extra men, I should be alright to defeat them. He's clumped them up, but they're extremely tough. They do inflict some good casualties. The rest of his forces are some armoured swordsmen, heavy billmen, armoured swordsmen, dismounted English knights, yeah, so just a mixture of those 3. He had, I think it was like about 4 Knights Templars, which are taking on Chivalric Knights under Spain. I think he had about 4 or 5 of those. He's bringing in more dismounted Chivalric Knights. He's reserved 5 dismounted conquistadors in the back. He's got a couple of, I think it's about 4. He's got 8, I think it's 8 infantry, about 3 or 4, I think it's 4 actually, dismounted Chivalric Knights. And he's also got 4 units of Pubby's crossbowmen. So he'll destroy poor England. I did feel a bit sorry for England because it's getting ganged up on. He's getting ganged up on. But this is the problem with 3 FFAs, and it was scored. And I thought, well, I would have preferred to just wait it out and let them fight, but that would mean Spain would win. So I have to take that into account. So that's why I'm attacking. Otherwise, I would wait. And I think you should if you can. But if it's a squad resolution, you kind of can't wait. So anyway, I see that a lot of his infantry are they're isolated, so they're easy pickings for my cavalry. So here I'm going to make several strikes on them and put some pretty heavy casualties with my Latincon, and I believe I was trying to come from the other side. Yeah, I was probably a bit far behind. And yeah, I probably expected too much from my cavalry there against that much infantry, but I did still inflict some pretty gnarly casualties on them. By this point I'm bringing up my dismounted Byzantine Lancers to intercept them. And now I'm going to come in from the sides of my cav and from up here. And look at this, he missed defeat, but
press onward and break the spirit of his army.
But he would have routed really fast, because they would have got hit by all this cavalry and pinned from the front. So I'm going to pick a lot of kills here. with some nice close-ups of it, but I can understand why he might feel ultimate defeat. It'd be pretty frustrating. It is pretty frustrating when you're in a 3-player people gang up on you. But that's the problem with 3-player free-for-alls, it's just, they're not very balanced like that. So England admits defeat, and Spain is now on his way. Now, I am not so foolish as to stay here. This will give Spain a massive tactical edge just being up this hill. Plus, he's already got, I can probably evenly go toe-to-toe with chivalric knights and this feudal knight, but these conquistadors are going to be too strong in his infantry over my my infantry units. Plus, he's got, I believe he's got slightly more cavalry alive, or he might not, it might be all, he's definitely got more cavalry, and I'm pulling back to even terrain. Somewhere around here is good. Terrain is even. I don't want to stay in that, but I do make a bit of a blunder here with my Scythicon. I forgot to move them, and this unit keeps pursuing, and then I get hit by these Spanish chivalric knights, and it catches that unit out. So I kind of bundled that up, but they did collect a few kills in the process though. I wanted to get as much of England's forces as possible because being scored resolution, I didn't want to let Spain get too many because he's already got all the English cavalry up here. But I think I got more of the majority so far. But anyway, by pulling back here, I give myself a better chance because the terrain will be more to my advantage. But I pull back just a bit more because it still slightly favours him down here. But if I go uphill, I'll just get owned. So this is kind of like a tactical withdrawal. I just don't feel that I would have, I'd rout a lot faster or have a lot more trouble. My men would tire climbing up that hill, and they would just get owned by his superior infantry much faster. So I've got to increase my chances basically by finding better terrain. So I'm moving back here where he'll have to come down and we'll be fighting on fair terrain. So doing this sort of thing, in my opinion, is a better choice than just going uphill. It's just not a good idea to go uphill like that, because otherwise you're expecting, you're making it harder for yourself. So you want to get downhill and find some even terrain. I mean, I could go all the way back up and camp up on this hill, but I don't want to do that. I am not a hill camper, unless I'm extremely outnumbered or something. That's the only way I can conceivably win, but I just don't like doing it. This way it's a good balanced fight. But it'll take him a wee while to get here, so I will just triple speed it for the meantime. But here he's coming down now. So what is actually left of? What does he actually have? I haven't really. He had a feudal knight, 3 chivalric knights, dismounted of course, and I think it was 5 conquistadors, 4 pubbies crossbowmen, and several cav units. I think he had like 4 chivalric knights as general. Which this guy really turns out to be extremely persistent in this fight. So he's going to put all his men into one line. He's going to put all his infantry into one line. So his line extends beyond mine, which is, let's see, it's 8 units, no 9 units strong, as opposed to mine. Now the initial missile duel started, and I did not expect success, but I wanted to test. And as you can see, these dead bodies here. My guard archers could not break through the defense of that shield of these pubbies crossbow. It's a fight I would lose. It would go on for a long time, but it is a fight I would lose. So here I charge some of his infantry,
we must act now.
And I'm going around to his other cavalry to slow them up. I only charged that with a Scythicon, but I wanted to stall him, and he got stalled on my mid shield, so he lost his charge while I got a full charge into his troops.
Almost certain.
So by that standard, it gives me a slightly improved chance, but it's still very, very unlikely that I would be able to win a flat infantry duel without proper support. But that's why my Latin con are coming around to flank. This is where he's probably made a mistake. He has brought his men to one continuous line, while I have put enough to pin him. At the same time, I'm able to completely outflank him with my other reserve infantry units. Plus I get some cav into his back here. I've got to get this evened out more, otherwise it's going to be too hard to win. Plus I'm not actually focusing archer fire on his crossbow, because it's just pointless. They're too defensive to hit out with normal archers. It's very tough to defeat his crossbow in that way with anything other than crossbowmen. So instead I am targeting his infantry where I can to help within the balance in my favour. And I'm also going to try and stop some of his cav or any other units from outflanking me. And I'll probably end up using flaming arrows too to assist in that. But I'm being able to even the field a little more because I've been able to outflank on a couple of wings. So his infantry advantage I have nullified by outpositioning him. But he's definitely got better infantry.
We must act now.
But I mean, we'll fight. And I believe I've started the flaming arrows. I'm just going to ignore this cavalry around the back. I'm not actually that worried about it. So I want to try and flame him, and I do lose my general to a bit of foolishness, but I want to try and flame him because that will reduce the morale, and I want to hit these guys here, because that will, let's make them more flighty. I want to keep my infantry into these puppies crossbow because I should be able to win that. It's still a very fight that could go either way at this point. There's some really nice close-ups. I love watching these kind of fights on Medieval 2, it looks so good. And I'm starting to win, but this is probably because I'm sort of out positioning and getting numbers down, and because I kind of like sacrifice my general for the purpose of getting hammer and anvils in, and it spins his line enough. Like I said, conquistadors are just better infantry than any of the infantry I'm fielding. Not that Byzantine infantry is bad, it's good, but conquistadors are very, very good. So you have to, I have to kind of nullify the advantage in that area to a certain extent. So I had to sacrifice my cav unit to do that. And fortunately I did enough damage to his cav that it can't hurt my archers, and as you can see, I've been able to dominate the infantry fight as a result of that sacrifice. So I think it was well worth it, although it did cost my general. But in Medieval 2 that's not too much of a factor. If this were Empire Total War Shogun, I would not do something like that because losing your general is really dangerous on those games. Not much of a problem on Rome or Med 2. So his infantry corps starts to crack, but I have to start chasing his men around, and he does have his generals that do a lot of charges, which is going to be annoying, but fortunately there's not really enough men in the unit to be a very serious threat, but his general will inflict some pretty heavy casualties, I believe. But I want to try and catch his Pubby's crossbowmen now with my infantry. Pubby's crossbowmen are capable of infantry fighting for a wee while. But here he tries to charge, but his own men are going to get in the way in this. So I moved my guard archers to the flanks here, basically. And I am starting to cut into him. I'm just sort of finishing him up here, trying to catch some of his units. But he, I eventually asked him if he would admit defeat, but he really just wanted to keep going and going and going. I mean, I can understand that. I mean, that he wasn't going to win by this point. It was a wee bit annoying, but I guess it's just some people are really persistent. And he just keeps pulling his general in and out and in and out. He does this like 20 times. It's really annoying. And I'm starting to chase him down here and cut into his men. But this was a really close fight. But I think it was a good idea to sacrifice my general's cavalry unit because I got several hammer and anvils in, and I had to turn that infantry fight, which would have gone his way. But also he put all his men into that one condensed long line, whereas I had enough to intercept it. Basically I used my meat shield to absorb his charge and then counter charge, which means I inflicted more damage on the initial engagement with my own infantry, but I also had my Latin con that could go around support if needed or go around the flanks, which I used to go around the flanks, which increased my chances of causing morale damage to him by outflanking. And by also using my my general to hammer and anvil, even though I was sacrificing that unit, it turned the infantry fight into my favour, while my archers and other cav units just pinned down and did enough damage to his remaining cav that they were nullified. So you kind of have to do that, I think, against any situation where you're up against infantry that is stronger than yourself. I might just triple speed here because this really isn't really just me chasing this cav unit back and forth and some of these remaining crossbowmen. As you can see, an extremely tough unit. Pubby's crossbowmen are pretty hard to defeat with any missile units. I learnt that when I was playing once as the Mongols versus it was the Holy Roman Empire, and I just couldn't. My missile drill was just going. I had to go more missiles and I still lost it big time. There's just so much defense. You really need other crossbowmen or muskets to do it. And At this point he admits defeat, thankfully, but he was a good player and he certainly put a challenge up for me. And I have managed to defeat him, but again, like in Rome, it doesn't really end until the everything's off the field, so I have to sort of go forward here and chase them around a bit. But yeah, again with a 3-player free-for-all, England kind of got singled out here. Like, England's not a bad player or anything, he just got the bad end of the stick and got ganged up on, and it does suck when it happens, because, it's happened to me and it's very frustrating, which is why I always try never to play these kind of like unbalanced, like by uneven, odd-numbered games with people, because it means someone's going to get ganged up on, very likely. So it's better to just try and get an even balanced game so everyone's got an opponent in it free-for-all. But you can get away with it with a 5-player free-for-all, because usually quite often what happens, someone will win really decisively, then the other person who had no opponent can verse that person. It quite often happens. But I always use scored because the only reason I really use scored is because people can, on their last minute stand, you can just camp on a hill, easy victory, just by doing nothing the whole fight and just staying there until waiting until everyone else has destroyed each other. And to be honest, that's just not fair. So that's why I use scored. So if it hadn't been scored, I would have let those two fight each other. But as you can see, this is actually a defeat. I have more kills than Spain, but apparently Spain has more high quality kills than me. I have 1,111 men deployed, I got 965 kills and 574 captures. I had a lot, I had probably about 1,500 men really, and he had 840 and 114, so he didn't even get to 1,000, so I had at least 500 more kills altogether, or 500 more defeats over the enemy than him. But apparently he had high quality than me, and I was quite surprised that I didn't win that one, but not that it matters. But if you look at the stats here, my cataphracts, 52 kills and 191 captures, that's like 260 or 240 rather, very good. Latin Con 107, 85, 56, 108, 68 captures, they got tons as well. Scythicon, I was actually pretty impressed with these guys because they're pretty low end horse archers. It doesn't look like much, but really they are not very good quality, but they still did pretty well. And the Lancers, they're really quite good, the dismounted Byzantine Lancers. They can hold the line very well, and as I said, you can get them right up to a gold defence upgrade. So they come off pretty even, definitely against better infantry, like chivalric knights. And conquistadors most definitely are better than Byzantine Lancers. Latin Con were probably even with chivalric knights, and they did a pretty nice job, I would say, all of them getting some good kills, some nice captures going on. Guard archers, they did very well, but if I persisted in a missile duel against those Pubby's crossbowmen, they would lose that, because they would have too much difficulty in breaching their defensive capabilities of that shield and their armour, and this is why I rushed there, because you don't want to do that. But anyway, good game to Korregan and Diablo. I'm sure it was probably not the best game for Diablo, but I can understand why. It's pretty frustrating when that happens. But anyway guys, hope you enjoyed, and I shall see you soon next time.